put ourselves back in time a little bit to about 1878. And this line, railway line from Port Augusta to Alice Springs, construction commenced. It wasn't until I think about 1929 that this last section finally took its first passengers. So this was obviously the accommodation, the workers' quarters, the maintenance teams. They all would have lived here. Would have been a fair little community. And there's a series of these sites right along the line, and we're just in this particular journey following the section from Fink through to Alice Springs. It's about 240k. Put yourself in the shoes of those that were involved. High 40s temperature during the day, freezing overnight, tough, no air conditioning, supplies would have been sporadic. Would have been a camp cook here, looking after everybody. Notorious one, this one renowned for his brownies and his high top bread. So anyhow, this is Radinga Ruins, and we'll have a bit of a look around. There's not a lot left, but the Fettlers' huts here, there's about 9 of them I think. Central one here would have been the kitchen, the looks of it, a big chimney in it. So this touring route in my mind is probably one of the best touring routes in Australia. There's lots of history, fantastic camping, great bush, great scenery. And, look, it's an easy drive from a touring point of view. It's actually very easy. Oh, in the bull dust. So it's that called Defies. Sun's getting low over there, and we've pulled off the track and we've come across this bloody ripper little waterhole. We're tucked away in a bit of mulga scrub here, and sun's getting low as you can see, and flat ground, out of the wind, bit of water, lots of bird life, well off the road, so any dust or traffic's not going to bother us. Got the tent being put up in the background there, camper getting set up. Got the thermos water there, turning it into a cuppa. It's good to hang on to a little bit of thermos water for the end of the day, so bang, you can have a cuppa. A great spot. Ducks, wildlife, birds. Just what we needed this hour of the day. Morning. What a cracker of a morning it is too. It's just a hint of chill in the air. Sun's just starting to poke its head up over the back here. The birds are all firing up. There's a real aroma from the earth that, yeah, it's hard to explain, but it's almost a sweet scent. And there's a real pleasant, earthy odour It's amazing. Budgies. Yeah, the birds, they're just firing up, having a chat. This is just a brilliant spot. Got a bit blowy earlier this morning, and but that seems to be a trend. The air moves across the plains, I guess, and temperature changes. This is just fantastic. This is why we do it. Spots like this, just nestled in here on our own. It was a unplanned stop, as in we didn't know this was here, just poking along. Look at it. Budgies just in the tree here, just watching me in the chat. Brilliant. I'm going to get a fire going and get the billy on and just take it all in. Oh, you can't beat it. Can't beat it. I think it was pronounced As part of the APUTULA community. I think it dates back to about 1872. I think the demise about 1930-ish. It's obviously been a pretty harsh country. Have a look around. I mean, gee whiz, it's hard. And obviously it endured for the best part of 50 years. Yeah, look, there's no doubt there's more modern sites sprung up, more reliable water, and maybe closer to transport. Who knows what the story is, to be honest. But yeah, in the middle of nowhere, it must have just been hard. It's hard enough now with modern vehicles and air conditioning, but you know, that's nothing. We've got it easy. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to wander up the Old Ghan from here through APUTULA, Fink community, follow the Old Ghan into Alice. I think we'll do an overnighter between here and there just to poke along slowly. We don't have to rush. And we'll have a look at some of the history and sites along the Old Ghan. It's a fascinating bit of country.
Go, go.
Hang on. Go. Where's your hat? For that one to stop swinging back. Joseph Alexander McFarlane died here on the 10th of January 1883. Interesting story behind it. So 25 miles from Charlotte's Waters here, and evidently Joseph McFarlane was carting a load of wool to the railhead at Oodnadatta, and at this point here at Boggy Flat, he evidently was getting his gun out to shoot a turkey, wild turkey. Oops, a bit of tucker, and in the process shot himself. The gun went off as he was taking it out of his pack saddle, but he discharged and shot himself through the left breast. Never to walk again, never to breathe again. A good memorial set up there, a stone and fence. Bit of a plaque there with the story on it. So I suspect there's a lot of these graves around, a lot of sites, grave sites that aren't as well marked and looked after. People who move through this country. Anyway, we decided we'd pull over and have a cuppa with Joseph, just to acknowledge the history. I always thought that the old fencing contractors were a bit of a tough breed. You know, what they have to endure, the terrain they work in. But I suspect that the current fencing contractor got nothing on the blokes from yesteryear. Let's have a look at this for a star picket. If this is not 15 kilo, I'll go, hey, 1 star picket. Look at the size of it. Imagine the old timers carrying a pack of them down the fence line. Bloody hell. Probably before motor vehicles. So, hats off to the old fencing contractors, because that is a good lump of steel. This is Rumballara siding on the Old Ghan. It's not much left here now. It's about 500 metres off the Old Ghan historic drive, basically the road, and comes into the old railway line here. So these would have been old fettless huts just out here, all gone. It looks like the old bathroom there actually, and still standing, although in a bit of disrepair. There's lots of good old rusty stuff. Rubbish. Once again, there's a story to be told. No, there's lots of stories to be told about these places. Rumballara, one of the many sidings along the Old Ghan. Siding in the Old Ghan. I think it's also one of the checkpoints or thereabouts when the Fink Desert race is on. Someone over over there, 140 k's to Alice from here on the old track. Well, that's the race track, which is going parallel pretty much with the Old Ghan, what we're following. So Buck Rogers has been here before, but yeah, it's the old tank up there which they used to use to re-water the locomotives. And I think there's a bit of a story about how they had to desalt the bore water or something, or the tanks, something to do with all of that. Yeah, look, well picked over, plenty of asbestos laying around in the sand. Good healthy site. But it's blowing today, blowing. So we're not in any hurry to pull up and camp. Just sort of a bit more comfortable in the truck with the air conditioner going. The day is getting on, so we're going to have to pull up at some stage. Hopefully this dies out again in the evening and we get some respite. Anyway, apart from the shit that everyone decides to leave laying around, all the old car parts, and bits and pieces, tyres and grills and suspension components and crap, it's not a bad spot.